Hey Blenderphiles, SD, and with me Shubham from Blenderphile, and this is the node concept, and today we are taking 3 nodes because these are really short and are mostly self-explanatory, and I don't think these 3 actually require a tutorial. You can just explore them on your own. It just takes like 5 seconds or something like that. But as we have to cover every node, we are actually doing them. So yeah, basically the same old scene setup, plane and deleting everything else and new material and boom. So this time what we do is boom. Okay, alright. So this time again we gonna need is image texture. So just plug it over there and connect that over there. Well, you don't need to connect it. Okay, so let's just select the texture. Last time I also had quite a few time exploring and choosing the correct texture, but we have one right now. So there's his. So this is a highly color varied texture because just for showing you changes that will occur. A hair went into my mouth, sorry. Alright, so you can see it is actually a table full of objects. So you have ketchup over here and water bottle and things. Alright, so the first node is going to do is the brightness and contrast. So we're going to add it over there and Ctrl + left click. So and I don't think we need an explanation over here. So the brightness contrast, the first thing is the bright. And oh yes, it takes a color input. So yeah, so the brightness is controlling how bright the image will be or how the dark the image will be. So a value between 0 and 1, that should be enough to control. A value of 1 is white, as you can see, and value of -1 is black. So and the value between that, and you can see it just controls. It's kind of adds in a white overlay over the image. So that's how the brightness works. And let's get back to default. And similarly to contrast. So the contrast actually increases the contrast. So it actually tries to remove every shade between 2 colors. So for example, if we have in our noise texture over here. So ta-da! Alright, so let's scale. So here you can see there are many shades of gray over here. So so a black over here and some kind of white and grayish portions over there. So what contrast does over here is it takes a value like from 0 to 1, and values less than 0.5 is turned towards black, and above that goes towards white. So increasing the contrast makes the image as much black and white as possible. So it tries to remove every other shade, but you can see there are always some errors, so you can go way higher value for that, and he's removed. So that is what contrast does. So this is no brightness contrast. I don't believe this needs much explanation at all. So next we're going to go is with the gamma. Alright, so gamma, let me just delete that and that as well. So back to work. Okay, so the gamma is kind of adds in a contrast and darkens your image a bit. So it is kind of a brightness and contrast node where increases contrast a lot and decreases brightness just a little bit. So let's see a very good value. A range of values between 2.2 and 2.5. So you can a value between them looks good for most of the scenes. And yeah, it can be used with colors, the image textures, but sometimes it's used more for correcting the values in your maps. So if you have a specularity map, you can add in a gamma node to make it a little better and contrasting. So yeah, that's the gamma nodes. Really simple. All of them are color nodes actually. So they take in a color input and affect with a gamma and the color. So our default value of gamma is 1. A value below that will do the opposite thing. So it will decrease the contrast and increase the brightness. So you can see over here, and boom, it doesn't go 0. Yeah, it doesn't go 0. I don't know why. Some algorithm thing or something like that. So okay, so next node is the invert. So invert over here. So invert. As the name says, so it inverts the color using a factor. So a factor of 0 means there will be no conversion of, no inversion of the colors that we see over here. So how invert works actually is if we have something like okay, so for example, what inverts actually does is let's add in some color over here, and red. So let's go with red firstly. So what invert does is after a factor of 1, it will invert. So it will take this dot to this point, so it inverts that. Complete opposite. So factor of 1 will make it cyan and something like that. Yellow will go blue, green will go purple, purple will go green, and things like that. So I guess white will go black. Ta-da! Alright, so black will go white. As usual. So the factor controls how much far this dot will go on the opposite direction. So a value of 1 over here and factor of 0.8 will take it somewhere near this point. So not exactly cyan, but a smaller value, and something like 0.5 will make it gray. So portion like here somewhere. Alright, so that is what the invert does, and that is basically all these 3 nodes. So let's just quickly add them together to finish up the tutorial. And ta-da! So these 3 nodes were discussed today. So brighter contrast plays on with the brightness and the contrast values. Gamma actually increases the contrast and decreases the brightness a bit, and nice value is 2.2 and 2.5, a range between them. And then invert, it inverts the color. So the way it inverts the color depends upon the factor. A red color will go cyan, and factoring tells how much far will the opposition go. So that is basically these 3 nodes, and that concludes the tutorial. I hope you understood and learned these 3 nodes, and we hope to see you in our next video, and that will cover the light fall off node. That is quite a big node, and I don't know why it kept in the color section, doesn't have a color output or an input. That is a weird node. So anyways, we'll be discussing that as well, and to see that, do subscribe to stay tuned, and you can also follow us on facebook.com/Blenderphile for more tips and tricks and other news from the Blender community. And till then, happy blending and see ya, bye.